639 3996.
When it comes to financial planning, one size fits all isn't a fit at all.
Talk with Ameriprise Financial Advisors Mark Tapp and Keith Weltons about the exclusive Confident Retirement Approach.
It's a personalized, flexible, step-by-step approach towards financial balance, so you can feel confident about the future as well as your wants and needs of today.
The Confident Retirement Approach and a one-on-one relationship with an advisor like Mark or Keith will help you live life and save for tomorrow in a way that's right for you.
It's what financial balance is all about. So call Keith
or Mark
today at 540-639-5153.
Our office is located at 202 3rd Avenue in Radford, Virginia.
The Confident Retirement Approach is not a guarantee of future financial results. Investment advisory products and services are made available through Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, a registered investment advisor.
Dynamic products backed by uncompromising service since 1978. That's 11 West in Radford, with more years of experience than anyone in the New River Valley. 11 West specializes in screen printing, embroidery, sew-on, and flat printing. Let our graphic arts department create something really special for you, and there's specialty products to choose from, too. Phone 639-9319 for the most professional way to display your company, club, or team. It's 11 West on New River Road in Radford, and 11 West wishes all area teams the best.
And we are live, Bobcat Nation. Glad to have you here at Roanoke College. It's Michael Davis alongside Liam Cherry tonight. Your Lady Cats take on the Chatham excuse me. I had a brain fart there. The Cavaliers from Chatham. Excuse me. We had some technical difficulties getting up and running here. That's the Bobcat Sports Live difference, of course. But I think we're good to go. If we're not, if things happen, please send us a message. Send us a message on Facebook, on YouTube, and let us know. But we're about 6.5 minutes away from tip-off. Your Lady Cats against the Cavaliers from Chatham. Liam, I'm excited. This game's going to be electric. We kind of looked over, the game coming into this, and we'll talk about why it's going to be electric here in a second. But, Liam, glad to have you. Welcome tonight.
Well, first, Michael, I've said it every time, but thank you for having me once
Of course,
again.
man.
I'm excited. I've been giddy about this game since I walked into school today. So, I've been ready to get out of Dodge and come into Roanoke and see how this is going to turn out. And, me and you have sat down. We discussed on the way here the stats and everything like that, just like for the game itself. I'm really excited for this game, being as that, even though Chatham looks like they have the upper hand on max preps,
yep.
I think Radford's going to give them a really good run for their money, just because Radford's got a 13-6 record and Chatham's got 16-2. Records, to people are like, oh, that defines how good of a team they are.
Right.
Whereas I think, in my opinion, Radford's just got it going for them. I really feel like they're going to put up a fight tonight, and I think they're really going to give Chatham that run for their money that they've been looking for all season.
Yeah, I think a lot of things factor into records, and we'll kind of dive into that. Just like you alluded to, Bobcats 13-6 on the season, Chatham 16-2 on the season. Chatham's coming into this contest 11-0 in the region, so they've essentially rolled 11 straight games coming into this. 12, I guess, with their playoff victory the other night. They played the same thing 3 times last 2 games of the regular season, but they're averaging 62.4 points per contest, and the Bobcats are shooting about 50 points per contest. Now, that being said, that's a lot of points. Chatham led by 2 girls. They're averaging 22 points apiece. And so that's a lot of offense. But you know what that tells me, Liam, is if you can shut down 1 or 2 of those, that's half of their offense for Chatham. We talked about, it's very lopsided, but if you look at the stats, and you're going to dive into it as well, Chatham's coming in here ranked 25 spots lower in the state and 7 spots lower in the division over the Radford Bobcats. So just because we saw this in the boys' game the other night, Chatham may come in here playing a little weaker schedule, and they may not fare well against the Bobcats. The boys won their game by double digits the other night, and that team arguably had way better stats according to the paper. But that doesn't mean anything when you step between the lines.
Here's my opinion about it. And Chatham's got a fair amount of stuff written out on their max preps because the majority of the information that you and I both get is actually from max prep.
Sure.
And I'm looking here, and I just have a portion of max prep that basically states what percentage of the points come from the entire team as collective and what percentage of points come as their best score. Now, if you look here, it says 57.3% of their points come from the entirety of a team as a whole. But then it's 42.7 points come from their top scorer. That's almost half. It's similar, if not, well, I think it's a little bit under, but it's similar to what we saw in Glenver, whereas Ryan Harris in the first Glenver game we saw was particularly taking a majority of the points that we saw on the floor. So I feel that this game is going to be similar to this second Glenver game that I was at, being as that you had Ryan Harris passing the ball more, and you had more points coming out of different players. So I think that if the Bobcats bring what they did last game, play a little bit of box and one, 2-3 zone, I feel like we're 1-3-1. I feel like truthfully that they could, like I said, give them a run for their money. So I feel like we're going to really see a similar game to this Glenver game that we saw recently.
Yeah, I actually agree with you 100%. The Bobcats have played 7 different defenses this year. They love man-to-man. That is a Radford staple here in the Bobcat program. They played a 1-3-1 this year. They've played a 2-3 zone. They played a box and one. I talked to Coach Worth and said, Coach, what are you going to do in this contest to stop these 2 young athletes for Chatham? He said, hey, we're going to give them everything they got. We're going to run a box and one on their point guard. We're going to push attack their base player, and we're going to crowd her. Every time she touches the basketball coming across the floor, they're going to attack on defense. They're going to try to outpace Chatham tonight and score. And the things the Bobcats have that I believe Chatham doesn't have, we know what Laney Klein brings to the table, the senior guard. One of the tallest players on the floor, averaging 13 points a game, can attack the basket, get to the free throw line, make the mid-range jumper. We know what she gives you. We have Jada Dean running the point, averaging 8 points a contest, 4 assists on the season a game. And then you have Gracie Connor dominating from three-point line, 43% from behind the arc this season, averaging 9 points a game, makes anywhere from 3 to 5 3-pointers a game. But Liam, the thing that excites me about this Bobcats team, and we'll dive into this as the game goes on, the extra players for the Bobcats, I believe, are the impact players in this game. You know exactly what the main core of the Bobcats is going to give you. What the other team doesn't know is what the bench can give you. Hollybrook Klein for the Bobcats has been coming off the bench lately and being a powerhouse motor on the defensive end. You have Lexi Newcomb, loves to be at the high post, loves to kick that ball out, rebounds very efficiently for the Bobcats. The Witt twins, both give you three-point shooting, both can handle the basketball. This team for the Bobcats, it's one of the best teams they've had in a long time. They have a lot of work to do, but this game, Liam, is going to be exciting.
Well, it's like I said, like when I was writing the stats information for this game. If you look, MaxPress provides you the top leaders for each game. Laney Klein appears on that list 4 times, along with Jada Dean once. Laney Klein leading in points per game, rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks.
Yeah, if I'm Chatham here, I look to attack Laney Klein. I like to get her in foul trouble. I love to be on her because if Laney Klein only scores 8 points, you've done your job as a defense. The only thing the Bobcats have is they have, compared to Chatham, they have 4 other girls who can score for the Bobcats. Chatham. They have Naisha Miller and they have Quinardra Tunstall. And I apologize about these names. I'm going to mess them up all night, so I may be calling them by their last names. But Miller and Tunstall for the Cavs are dominant players, and they will continue to be. They're going to get theirs. The difference is, can anyone else score? If you can hold these Cavaliers teams to 45 points, I think the Bobcats have a really good chance in this ball game, Liam.
It's like you mentioned about those 2, Tunstall and Miller. Take into account, those are both 2 names that appear on this leaders list for Chatham. You have Miller averaging around 22.7 points per game. For some context, MaxPress lists the national average for points per game at 4.2, which is, I don't know if they're right or not, but that's weird.
I would say I would say they're 100% right. 22 points a game in high school basketball is very impressive. I do not care who they're playing on their schedule. When you can come out night in and night out and score when you score 22 points a game, that means some nights you're scoring 30, okay? Yeah. So these girls for Chatham can score the rock. Miller and Tunstall will have to be players of the Bobcats. I was told Tunstall is the bigger player on the floor for Tunstall. She can run the ball down the floor. She can shoot the ball very well. She loves to attack the basket. If the Bobcats cannot foul her and allow her to get to the line, I think they can contain her. Yeah. The difference is, in my opinion, Liam, offense and defense. Defense travels. And so if you got a good defense, you're going to be fine. And the Bobcats have a pretty good defense.
Well, take into account, Tunstall has 11.8 rebounds per game, which the national average for that is 2.9. Miller has 4.6 assists per game, which the national average is 0.8, with Jada Dean having 2.7 assists per game. Tunstall having 4.2 steals per game, national average being 1.1, Laney having 2.3, and Abigail Totten, number 35, having 0.3 blocks and 0.6, and Lady Klein having 0.6 blocks as well.
We're going to roll right in here to our starting lineups. Your Lady Bobcats are the visitors tonight, leading off number 10, Brooke Phillips, number 14, the senior Jada Dean, the senior Gracie Connor, number 22, the three-point shooter, the sophomore Haley Witt, and the other seniors. So 4 seniors for the Bobcats in the starting lineup. Number 40, the one and only Lainey Klein. The Cavaliers, the home team. Number 10, Cora Ligon. Number 14, Ava Norris. Number 22, Nashay Miller. Number 24, Delaney Haymore. And number 30, Quandera Tunstall. As the Cavaliers get the tip-off and they score the first buckets of the contest, number 22, Miller, gets her first points of the game. And the Bobcats answer from 3. Haley Witt, that's her first shot of the night, and that's the first knockdown. So 3-2 is your score. Cavs answer on first, and the Bobcats answer big. 3-2 is your score. Cavs trying to answer here. Get it down low to Tunstall. She has to kick it back out. Number 22 from 3. Airballed by Miller. And the Bobcats come away with the rebound here. Witt bringing the ball down the floor. Bobcats in their all-black road uniforms. Cavs in their all-white, looking pretty good out there. Both teams, as they said, Gracie Connor is stepped out of bounds. And this is interesting. It's a college-sized court, so it looks a little different. There's lines everywhere. There's lines they had to create on the floor. There's 3 three-point lines. It's kind of hard to tell. It's a wider surface, so tough break for Gracie Connor. But with 1 minute ticked off here, Bobcats do lead 3-2.
I honestly feel with Brooke Phillips guarding up top, being number 2 Miller, I feel like that's a good move on Coach Worrell's part, being Miller from a distance. I don't know if this is me being at the desk or not, but Miller's a smaller person, and Phillips has a bigger wingspan, and she's taller. Therefore, making, I feel like, the defense, being as that Miller's like the main player to call out plays and take the ball down the court, I feel like that's a very good move on Coach Worrell's part. Yeah,
Chatham full court press here, a little zone press all the way down the floor for the Cavs on the Bobcats. Make Witt pick up her dribble. They do get it across the midcourt line, get it down low to Laney Klein. Brooke Phillips at the high post, little kick out to Witt. Witt attacks to her left. Gracie Connor with the basketball. They finally get it to Laney Klein, and she's bumped. And this is good news for the Bobcats because that's the first foul on the Cavs.
Yeah, that foul was on number 30, Tunstall. It's her first foul and the first personal and the first team foul. Jada Dean inbounding over to Laney Klein, back to Jada Dean, and over to Witt.
Yeah, good to have for the Bobcats. Tunstall in foul trouble early. If the Bobcats can get Miller and Tunstall in foul trouble, they're going to be set here. The Cavs have shot 3 three-pointers tonight, missed all of them, actually airballed all 3 of them so far, but they're going to keep shooting it tonight. They're averaging 64 points a game for a reason. They're not afraid to shoot the basketball. You live and you die about Alabama does it night in and night out, and sometimes they may lose a contest because of it. But they're going to keep shooting. They're going to live to what they want to do as the Bobcats poke the ball out of bounds. So Miller will inbound underneath the Cavs basket. They get it down low. They set the screen for Tunstall. Pretty easy bucket there for the Cavs, and they put on a little zone full court press. Bobcats break it with ease. Brooke Phillips throws it into no man's lands, but the Bobcats get it back. Witt from three. Bang! It's good. Witt, Steph Curry range, and that one drops in. Bobcats up 6-4. And that's how you beat a team that scores 64 points. You try to score more. Bobcats defense. As the Cavs turn it over, they throw it out of bounds. This is exactly what Coach Royals talked about. He said as soon as they come across the midcourt line, we're going to meet them and get in their face, and that's what they're doing, and it causes a turnover. Bobcats inbound the basketball to Brooke Phillips at the half-court line. Bobcats get it across. Gracie Connor to Jada Dean. Laney Klein pump fakes, attacks the basket. Bobcats wanted a foul there, but no call by the official. I actually agree with the official right there. Bobcats need to stop the basketball as the Cavs give it up. And free bucket underneath goes to number 22, Miller. She has 4 points on the contest. And here's another full court press here by the Cavs. Bobcats have been beating it with ease pretty much as Laney Klein attacks the basket by herself. No foul called again. Laney Klein really should have gave that up to Brooke Phillips, but she steals the ball off the rebound, gives it up to Witt. Witt attacking. Shot is up as she's fouled, and she'll go to the line for two. Actually, lucky break there for the Bobcats. I thought she was a little bit out of control.
No, this is exactly what, like you mentioned, this is exactly what we're looking for, being as that we need both prime players to be fouled, be in some sort of foul trouble. The second you get them on the bench, that's the second the entirety of this offense would have to find how to come back together and how to reposition themselves.
Witt knocks down the first of 2 free throws. That's Haley Witt for the Bobcats as she knocks them both down. So Witt with all 8 points for your Bobcats here in the first period. And that's actually a good thing. Gracie Connor hasn't attempted a shot yet. So the Bobcats leading 8-6 as another missed shot here by Tunstall. So Miller and Tunstall taking all the shots so far for the Cavs as Witt from three is no good. A little heat check, but she gets her own rebound. She gets trapped underneath, and they say she double dribbles there. She picked it up and then dribbled again as Hannah Witt will check in here for Gracie Connor.
Hollybrook Klein also checked in for the Bobcats, and as we discussed on the way over here, Michael, this is exactly what we're looking for. Look at, she's right at half court. She's meeting Miller just like you said what would happen in the car on the way over here. I think this is a great move on Worrells' part. Hollybrook Klein is look at her feet go. Look at her go. She's all over the court, and she's great at moving the ball. Miller passes to number 32, Abigail Taunton, but it goes through her hands and out of bounds.
Yeah, Bobcats will inbound underneath the basket here. Witt gets into Dean. Dean attacking the middle of the floor. Back to Hannah Witt. Hannah Witt. Bobcats have to get it across here. As they finally do, it goes to Laney Klein and Haley Witt now with the basketball. Attacking here. Brooks is on her. Trinity Brooks is guarding her as Witt pump fakes, and it gets stolen away by Miller. Miller attacking on the other end as she's fouled by the Bobcats. So she'll go to the line, and this is kind of what the Cavs like to do. Miller averaging about 6 steals a game, I believe. She loves to get the ball in transition and just go ahead and attack the basket. Don't mess around, straight to the rack.
Fouls on Haley Witt. It's, I believe, her first personal and the first team foul for the Bobcats. Miller's at the line. This is the first. I don't know what's more pressure, Michael, having no sound in the room or having, like, it be loud.
Yeah, it really depends. It's kind of what you're used to a lot of times, especially this is technically a neutral site as Miller knocks that one down. She has 5 points on the contest tonight. 8-7 your score, Jada Dean bringing the ball down. But it's just a different atmosphere as the ball gets stolen away. Tunstall meets her at half court.
Wow.
And it looks like they're going to call a foul on the Bobcats. So this is not what you like. Tunstall just meeting the Bobcats at half court and ripping the ball away. This is falling right into the Cavaliers' hands there. They want you to dribble towards that midcourt, and they're going to trap you right in here as Cavs calling CeeLo here. They're going to look as the Bobcats are in this box-and-one style defense here as they poke it away. Hollybrook Klein gets a steal here. Lainey Klein wanted the ball thrown down. She was wide open. Would have been a free bucket here for the Bobcats. Lainey Klein attacks the basket. She's attempted 3 shots tonight, missed them all, and Lainey Klein has to make her layups here for the Bobcats. They would be up 6 points right now if Lainey Klein could finish at the rim. And that's for all the Bobcats right now. Bobcats shooting the ball pretty good over in the season, but sometimes they struggle with finishing at the rim through contact, especially as there was no foul call here as Tunstall went up for a shot and gets it to go. So she got the miss from Miller and Tunstall. So this is what they want to do. They're going to attack the rack. They're going to score. And if not, they're just going to get the rebound here. So Bobcats trailing now in this contest for the first time, 9-8. But it is Bobcat basketball here as they throw it in. As Gracie Connor checks back in for the Bobcats.
I honestly feel like Gracie Connor and Lainey Klein is going to be that duo that's very similar to Tunstall and Miller.
Yeah, I like the looks here. You know, inside-out game is really strong for the Bobcats here. I know when Lexi Newcomb's on the floor as they're just making sure everyone's checked in as number 34, Tiara Fitzgerald, checks in for the Cavs. But inside-out game is strong for the Bobcats. Lainey Klein gets it at the high post as Witt misses another layup for the Bobcats. But a foul will be called on the rebound on the Cavs. So as it looks like that will be on the floor, as I've never seen this before. They just came and grabbed water off the bench, 2 players right in the middle of the play. And it will be Bobcat basketball, though. But Fitzgerald comes in, and this is actually a pretty smart move for the Cavs. They know what Lainey Klein can do here. They're going to bring in my opinion, the girl who's going to give her fits tonight, and that's Fitzgerald. And they're just going to put her on her and say, anytime she touches the basketball, you foul her. As the Bobcats inbound it underneath the basket, they get it to Lainey Klein, and she finally finishes at the rim here. Bobcats leading 10-9 over the Cavs. 2 minutes to go in the opening period. Tunstall setting the screen for Miller, rolling. They love to hit that pick and roll there, but she gives it up to number 12, Brooks, as Brooks steps out of bounds, and it will be Bobcat basketball up 1. Witt throwing the basketball in for the Bobcats. On the floor, Jedediene, Gracie Connor, Hannah Witt, and Lainey Klein. Oh, and Hollybrook Klein. Hollybrook Klein attacking the basket off the pass from Jedediene is good. Hey. And Bobcats now leading 12-10 as Hollybrook Klein got her first field goal of the contest. They're meeting this Cavs team. They're meeting Miller as soon as she comes across the line. They have Hollybrook Klein extended out to the midcourt line attacking as they're going to make everyone else beat them, as it looks like they called a jump ball here. Fitzgerald went up to take a shot, and Witt took it straight out of the air.
Lexi Newcomb checking in for the Bobcats. I think this duo between Hollybrook Klein and Lexi Newcomb is also a really good thing I'm excited that we're looking at here. Honestly, I feel like World's doing a great thing right here. He's having Hollybrook Klein and Newcomb right at the half-court line, ready to just they could make a lob pass. It'd be risky, but if so, they can just book it down the rest of the court and go for the press.
With the basketball, gives it to Jedediene from 3, no good. Rebounded tip to Hollybrook Klein, back out to Witt. Witt from 3, no good, and it hit the bar. So that's going to be Cavs basketball. And you're absolutely right. You know, the Bobcats love substituting, as it looks like Haley Witt will check in for Jedediene. So on the floor, both Witt sisters, Lexi Newcomb, Gracie Connor, and Hollybrook Klein, they love to substitute. They have a healthy bench. The bench players give you pretty much the same thing across the board, just a little bit differently. As Tunstall with a little push-off gets a shot up to go, but Hollybrook Klein gets the rebound, rips it down, and gives it up to Gracie Connor. Gracie Connor stops, and they call a travel on Gracie Connor. So it will be a turnover for the Bobcats, and with 45 seconds to go, looks like Brooke Phillips will be checking in for Hollybrook Klein, giving really valuable minutes.
No,
off the bench.
This is a completely different offense than in like the first 2 games that I was at when you invited me for the first time, Michael. This is a completely different offense in my opinion, but one that I really feel like is doing good. Bobcat basketball after the ball was pushed out of bounds by number 22 Miller.
Yeah, Witt inbounding here, gets it to Phillips at the midcourt line, gives it back to Haley Witt. Haley Witt gives it to Hannah. Lexi Newcomb in the paint, gives it back up to Haley Witt attacking the basket. Excuse me, that's Hannah Witt, and she gets it to go. So Bobcats leading 14-9, 18 seconds left in the period. If I'm the Cavs here, I go to my best shooter, and that's Miller, and she's going to attack the basket, and that's exactly what she does. She drives all the way in, gives it up in the paint to number 34, Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald gets her first field goal with 5 seconds to go in the period. It looks like a turnover here as the Bobcats entered the floor before throwing it in. So that will be a turnover. That's just a tough break for the Bobcats as the Cavs will inbound underneath the basket, and they get it into Tunstall. Tunstall is blocked underneath, and that is the end of the period. Bobcats leading 14-11. Good defense at the end of the period to hold the Cavs from scoring that bucket. This is Michael Davis alongside Liam Cherry with Bobcat Sports Live as we are going to go to a quick commercial break and hear from Brad's Barbershop.
Step foot inside Brad's Barber in Radford and you'll be transported back to a time when men were men and getting a straight razor shave and a haircut was something that mattered. With no appointment needed, Brad's welcomes you with walk-ins only. Brad's Barber would like to introduce their new stylist, Elysia Blankenship, to the team. Reach out to Brad's at 838-2109. That's 540-838-2109. Brad's Barber is a proud supporter of Radford High School athletics. Go Bobcats!
Bobcats leading 16-11 as Coach Whirls takes a timeout.
Patrick K. Moore, PC, is a well-established law firm located in Radford and Blacksburg that provides a wide range of quality, cost-effective legal services to clients throughout the New River Valley area. Patrick and his team strive to meet the legal needs of individual clients and their families and of small businesses by offering personalized service that allows them to understand each client's individual goals. They always begin with a free consultation. For more info, you can reach them at 633-1590. Patrick Moore Law Firm is a proud supporter of Radford High School Athletics. Go Bobcats!
And we're back. If you're just tuning in, thank you so much. Bobcats lead 16-11, 5:47 to go in the second period. Bobcats were leading 14-11 at the end of the first period here. Back and forth we went. We traded some shots as the Cavs will now inbound the basketball underneath their basket, as it seems like the Cavs, we talked about how they have two players, and that's literally the case, Miller and Tunstall for the Cavs. As Tunstall gets underneath, she dishes it out to number 10, Cora Ligon, and she turns the basketball over as she loses out of bounds. So here come the Bobcats. Cavs in this full court press here. As the Bobcats break it with ease, Jada Dean attacks the basket, shot is up and good. So the Bobcats in transition finally get that field goal made, and they are now leading 18-11 over the Cavs.
Here's the thing, Michael. The Cavaliers are
Lainey Klein gets a steal here and takes it coast to coast as she gets to go. She has 6 points on the contest, and the Bobcats are rolling. Offense, defense leads the offense, and here come the Bobcats.
The Cavaliers are struggling. You see, the Bobcats have been consistently, and this is new for the Bobcats, making long lob passes between players, and the Cavaliers are struggling to keep up with that. And I feel like they're using that to their advantage. Very good call on Coach Whirls' part to have more longer passes being made all around.
Gracie Connor from three, no good. Hasn't made a three-pointer tonight, as it looks like it went out of bounds. No, a foul is going to be called on Brooke Phillips. Coach Whirls loves the effort here, as she's going to just swap her out here for. And you know what? The Cavs call a timeout here, and I actually think they're calling a timeout because they look exhausted out here against the Lady Bobcats. Bobcats love to run up and down the floor, and that's what we're doing. It seems like tonight it's going to be who can outlast who in this ball game.
And, you know, another thing, if you look at Miller right now, she's absolutely exhausted. You can see it in her eyes. You can see it in her attitude. She's just absolutely floored at the moment.
Yeah, it's an interesting ball game because this Cavs team hasn't been pressured all year. They've only lost 2 games on the season, and it was to the same team twice. And sometimes that happens. They're averaging most of their wins by 30 points, I believe, this season. And they're just not in a lot of games where they have to fight back from down. They're down 9 points in this contest. They've only scored 11 points. They're averaging, I believe, 13 points a quarter and sometimes 17 points in the fourth quarter. And they are being held to 11 points with 4:38 to go in the second. Cavaliers take a shot, rips down the board is Hollybrook Klein, and here come the Bobcats. Witt tries to get to Lainey Klein, but stolen away by Miller. Miller attacking, poked away by Jada Dean. Jada Dean saving that bucket there for the Bobcats, and that's just a good hustle play from the senior.
Miller not liking that whatsoever. I think Miller was wanting a foul on that, but, I mean, you can't.
Yeah, just a really good play there. Good effort play by Dean. Tunstall gets the ball stolen away, and here comes the Bobcats. Witt, number 34, brings it up the floor. Lainey Klein, pump fake, as she knocks down Tunstall. Witt gives it up to Dean. Dean back to Hollybrook Klein. Back to Dean in the corner from three. No good. Rebounded by Dean. Gets her own rebound. And it's blocked out of midair by Tunstall. And here come the Cavs. Miller attacking. Gets it inside number 32, Abigail Totten, as she takes her first shot of the game. And she will be fouled.
You know, Michael, if you look at Miller play, Miller easily is getting frustrated with the whole with just how well we're covering the Cavaliers maybe getting frustrated or fellow players, I feel like that could be a disadvantage.
Yeah, I watched a lot of film on these ladies coming into tonight's contest, as Lexi Newcomb as well as Hannah Witt coming in for the Bobcats, and substitutions for the Cavs. Delaney Haymore checking in. She started and went out early and finally getting back in the ball game. As number 32, Totten misses both free throws, so score still 20-11. But as I was saying, I was watching film on these girls, and most of the teams that play them do not pressure them at the midcourt line. They do not put a lot of angst against them, and so it's got to be frustrating when you're normally up big. Now, it's a lot of game left, and when you can score, you're going to be able to, as they're all over Miller. Cavs from three, no good. Good rebound by number 32, Totten, but she couldn't get the finish to go. So the scoring woes here for the Cavs still continuing. They had 11 points in the first and haven't scored here in the second period. Hollybrook Klein gets it at the top of the key. Dishes it off to Witt from three, no good. Rebounded by Gracie Connor. Gracie Connor gives it up to Laney Klein as they pass it underneath to Lexi Newcomb. Newcomb up to Witt. Witt attacks the basket. Floater, no good. Cavs wanted a call here on the charge. They didn't get it, but here comes Tunstall and Miller. Miller's shot is up, no good. Hollybrook Klein rips down the board. So back and forth we go, and with 2:30 to go in the period, the Cavs still have not scored. Bobcats get it inside-out game. Gracie Connor, bang! From three, Gracie Connor finally knocks down a three-pointer. Her first field goal of the night, averaging 3.5 three-pointers a game, 43% from behind the arc. She started out 0 for 3, but she knocks that one down, and what a bigger one is there. Bobcats up 12 as the Cavs miss another shot, and here come the Bobcats. Witt attacking. Hannah Witt dribbles it out. Lexa Newcomb, mid-range jumper, no good. I feel like that's the first mid-range jumper she's taken all year, and that thing looked pretty. It just went in and out. Miller attacking, dribbling to her left, gives it up to Haymore. Haymore to Tunstall. Tunstall to Brooks. Brooks from three, and that gets the Cavs on the board, and that's what they like to do, fired up. The fans are finally fired up as they put on their full-court press, and this gave the Bobcats a little fit. They were breaking it. As the Bobcats turn the ball over, Laney Klein gets murdered, and here comes the Cavs. Brooks from three, no good, but she gets the rebound, gives it back to Brooks. Brooks from three, no good. As both teams are wanting fouls, and Coach Worrells is going to take a timeout. Coach Worrells is mad at the officials. Coach French is mad at the officials. Both teams are mad at the officials, and we're going to take a quick commercial break because we love a little action here at Bobcat Sports Live. We're going to hear from Radford Drug Company.
For the past 86 years, Radford residents have had a pharmacy that they can rely on not just for medication needs, but even for items around the house, medical supplies, and friendly advice. Business of the Year award winners Radford Drug on West Main Street has been that cornerstone for your community. So whether it is a question about your medication, hardware you need around the house, or even a Mother's Day card, come see the folks at Radford Drug who are proud supporters of Radford High Athletics. For more information, call 540-639-3996.
And we are back after the Coach Worrells timeout. 1 minute to go in the period. The Cavs just scored inside-out game for the Bobcats. Newcomb gets it out to number 34, Haley Witt, and she knocks down the three. That's her third three-pointer of the contest. She has 11 points, and the Bobcats are rolling up 12. 50 seconds to go in the half. As the Cavs turn it over, Miller tried to get it to Brooks in the corner, who knocked down the first field goal of the second period for the Cavs. And the Cavs are struggling right now on offense. If I'm the Bobcats, I kind of look to take this last shot here as Coach Worrells is going to let his offense play out here. Phillips from three. Bank shot. Open for business. Cash the check, and Brooke Phillips knocks it down from three. Bobcats 29, Cavaliers 14. 22 seconds to go in the half. Trap set to Miller. Gets it to Brooks in the corner. Brooks, no good from three. As Lexi Newcomb gets the board, and here come the Bobcats. Bobcats get it to Brooke Phillips in the post. Out to Witt from three. Bang!
Whoa!
Witt! 12 points, all from behind the arc. She's got 14, and the Bobcats rolling.
What a first force that. Whoa!
Bobcats headed to the locker room. Fans on their feet. Bench is on their feet, and so are we here at Bobcat Sports Live. That is your half. Bobcats leading 32-14 over the Cavs from Chatham. And we'll be right back with your halftime report. Folks, I hope you still got ears, because I know I got rowdy right there. This is Michael Davis, Liam, Strawberry Blueberry Muffin with Bobcat Sports Live.
Hello, Bobcat fans. This is Timothy Worrells, one of the voices of the Bobcat Sports Live Network. And I want to say thanks to all of our sponsors who make this happen. Mullins Funeral Home and Crematory, Davis Attorneys, Brad's Barbershop, 11 West, Dr. Bart Eastwood of Sideline Orthopedics, Dr. Kayla Mullins from Fairlawn Family Dentist, Sweet and Savory Donuts and Bagels, Ameriprise Financial, Radford Drug on West Main, and Brick House Pizza. Because of these Bobcat supporters, we are able to bring you all the action when life doesn't allow you to be here in person. Thanks, everyone, and go Bobcats!
Hey, this is Eli Mullins with Mullins Funeral Home in Radford, located right across from Sonic on Main Street, where we've been doing business for almost 100 years. We're thankful for the continued support of the people of Radford throughout all these years, and Bobcat Sports Live for allowing us to be there with the Bobcats when our schedules don't allow us to be there in person. Good luck and go Bobcats!
Step foot inside Brad's Barber in Radford and you'll be transported back to a time when men were men and getting a straight razor shave and a haircut was something that mattered. With no appointment needed, Brad's welcomes you with walk-ins only. Brad's Barber would like to introduce their new stylist, Elysia Blankenship, to the team. Reach out to Brad's at 838-2109. That's 540-838-2109. Brad's Barber is a proud supporter of Radford High School athletics. Go Bobcats!
For the past 86 years, Radford residents have had a pharmacy that they can rely on not just for medication needs, but even for items around the house, medical supplies, and friendly advice. Business of the Year award winners Radford Drug on West Main Street has been that cornerstone for your community. So whether it is a question about your medication, hardware you need around the house, or even a Mother's Day card, come see the folks at Radford Drug, who are proud supporters of Radford High Athletics. For more information, call 540-639-3996.
When it comes to financial planning, one size fits all isn't a fit at all.
Talk with Ameriprise Financial Advisors Mark Tapp and Keith Weltons about the exclusive Confident Retirement Approach.
It's a personalized, flexible, step-by-step approach towards financial balance, so you can feel confident about the future, as well as your wants and needs of today.
The Confident Retirement Approach and a one-on-one relationship with an advisor like Mark or Keith will help you live life and save for tomorrow in a way that's right for you.
It's what financial balance is all about. So call Keith
or Mark
today at 540-639-5153.
Our office is located at 202 3rd Avenue in Radford, Virginia.
The Confident Retirement Approach is not a guarantee of future financial results. Investment advisory products and services are made available through Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, a registered investment advisor.
Dynamic products backed by uncompromising service since 1978. That's 11 West in Radford, with more years of experience than anyone in the New River Valley. 11 West specializes in screen printing, embroidery, sew-on, and flat printing. Let our graphic arts department create something really special for you, and there's specialty products to choose from too. Phone 639-9319 for the most professional way to display your company, club, or team. It's 11 West on New River Road in Radford, and 11 West wishes all area teams the best.
Hello, Bobcat fans. This is Timothy Worrells, one of the voices of the Bobcat Sports Live Network. And I want to say thanks to all of our sponsors who make this happen. Mullins Funeral Home and Crematory, Davis Attorneys, Brad's Barbershop, 11 West, Dr. Bart Eastwood of Sideline Orthopedics, Dr. Kayla Mullins from Fairlawn Family Dentist, Sweet and Savory Donuts and Bagels, Ameriprise Financial, Radford Drug on West Main, and Brick House Pizza. Because of these Bobcat supporters, we are able to bring you all the action when life doesn't allow you to be here in person. Thanks, everyone, and go Bobcats!
Hey, this is Eli Mullins with Mullins Funeral Home in Radford, located right across from Sonic on Main Street, where we've been doing business for almost 100 years. We're thankful for the continued support of the people of Radford throughout all these years, and Bobcat Sports Live for allowing us to be there with the Bobcats when our schedules don't allow us to be there in person. Good luck and go Bobcats.
Step foot inside Brad's Barber in Radford and you'll be transported back to a time when men were men and getting a straight razor shave and a haircut was something that mattered. With no appointment needed, Brad's welcomes you with walk-ins only. Brad's Barber would like to introduce their new stylist, Elysia Blankenship, to the team. Reach out to Brad's at 838-2109. That's 540-838-2109. Brad's Barber is a proud supporter of Radford High School athletics. Go Bobcats!
For the past 86 years, Radford residents have had a pharmacy that they can rely on not just for medication needs, but even for items around the house, medical supplies, and friendly advice. Business of the Year award winners Radford Drug on West Main Street has been that cornerstone for your community. So whether it is a question about your medication, hardware you need around the house, or even a Mother's Day card, come see the folks at Radford Drug who are proud supporters of Radford High Athletics. For more information, call 540-639-3996.
When it comes to financial planning, one size fits all isn't a fit at all.
Talk with Ameriprise Financial Advisors Mark Tapp and Keith Weltons about the exclusive Confident Retirement Approach.
It's a personalized, flexible, step-by-step approach towards financial balance, so you can feel confident about.
And we're back with your halftime report. This is Bobcat Sports Live. Michael Davis alongside Liam Cherry tonight. Bobcats leading 32-14 over the Cavaliers from Chatham. Bobcats rolled in here and put their foot on the gas and haven't let up yet here. Liam is going to go over our halftime report and our stats. But, Liam, this has been an exciting first half.
Well, I agree with you, Michael, but I'm going to start with our Chatham Cavaliers here. Trinity Brooks with a 3 on the board. Nyesha Miller, who was our top scorer on Max Preps, and we were very worried about her because we thought that she was going to run away with this game. 5 points on the board thus far. Tunstall with layups, 4 points on the board, and Fitzgerald with 2. We're going to bring your Bobcats on the board. Very amazing first half for us. Their defense is looking absolutely immaculate, but their offense is nothing to be forgetting as well. Absolutely immaculate as well, being Brooke Phillips with a 3 on the board. Jada Dean with a layup. Gracie Connor with a 3 on the board. Hannah Witt with 2 on the board. Haley Witt having one of the best first halves I've seen in her career, and since I've been here at Bobcat Sports Live, having 14 on the board. Lainey Klein with 6 on the board, and Hollybrook Klein with 2 on the board. Not to mention Hollybrook Klein's defense is looking great. Here's my opinion. I think when the Cavaliers went into the locker room, they had to have a really hard talking to, being as that Miller is struggling a little bit to keep calm, cool, and collected in this half. So I'm kind of intrigued to see how this would go for the Cavaliers and such like that. If they could bring the communication back, then we could have a pretty struggling second half for the Bobcats. But I think if the Bobcats just keep the same thing rolling that we've had, we're going to just have the same thing over and over again. We're going to have an amazing third quarter, fourth quarter. This is going to be a game that one person can't forget, being as that this is what's going to lead us into our semis. This is the semis that's going to lead us into the rest of the playoffs. The playoffs have been nothing to forget, being as the boys took home a big win yesterday against, I did the same thing that Michael did. Who did the boys play yesterday? It's not just an N.
It starts with a T.
It's an N.
Nelson County. I kept wanting to say Nathan County.
But, I blanked on the name.
I wanted to say Tunstall first, actually.
But here's the thing, Bobcats fan. If you look on Max Preps, it looks like a pretty difficult game But then the boys go and they completely flip it, and they take home a pretty big win today. And it seems thus far that the girls are doing just that as well.
Yeah, Chatham here averaging 13 points a quarter. 17 points in the fourth quarter of this season, have scored 14 points in this first half. Now, if I'm Chatham here, I'm saying, girls, we needed a break. We got one. It's a lot of game left, a whole second half to go. We've seen bigger comebacks as they're going to pressure Witt all the way down the floor. They're going to run a box and one themselves. Bobcats ran a box and one, and they're going to run one on Witt. Jada Dean if I'm the Bobcats, I actually am fine with this because Gracie Connors can knock down the three. Jada Dean can knock down the three. It allows the Bobcats to break the paint, and they do. They do exactly what I'm saying they should do. As they do it, Jada Dean whisks herself through the lane. She now has 4 points on the contest, so here come the Cavs. Get it down low to Miller. Miller shot is up, no good. Miller, frustrated, wanted a foul call there. Gracie Connor brings it down the floor, gets up to Laney Klein, stop, dribbles. Brooke Phillips, pump fake, dribble drives, no good. Rebounded, kick to Tunstall, and she's going to take it. But she turns it over. Laney Klein attacks as she carried it on her hip, but no call. They either should have called a foul or a travel, and they didn't call either, and the Bobcats benefit and get the bucket. Klein, 8 points on the contest, and Tunstall have only scored 3 points since the end of the first period. Bobcats get a steal, turn it over. Laney Klein attacks and gets her second field goal of the half. Bobcats up 10. The Cavs ran a box and one to stop Witt. Everyone else is now scoring.
Here's the thing, Michael, and this comes from Coach DJ Baylor himself, who was actually in the building just across the gym here. He always told us during halftime reports when it comes to our team, Witt on an absolutely immaculate block, dribbling it down the court, tries to go for the shot, but it actually goes to Brooke Phillips.
Yeah, got blocked by the Cavs, and here comes Trinity Brooks. Brooks attacking as she's fouled by Gracie Connor on the shot. So it will be Cavs shooting two, as that's the first foul on Gracie Connor.
It's her first person. But here's the thing. Both teams have played a very clean first half.
Sure.
So there's no really trouble here.
Nope.
Of course.
You know what is trouble? Brooke Phillips just fell getting off the bench. As she goes, makes her way to the scorer's table. She tripped over her own feet.
That was Hollybrook Klein, I think.
That's what I meant. What did I say?
Brooke Phillips.
I meant Hollybrook Klein. She was checking in for Brooke Phillips.
Brooke Phillips checking out, though.
As Brooks knocks it down the first free throw. As she faked everyone out, and that's a lane violation on the Cavs. It has to be. As it's actually illegal to what she did was she got her shot and kind of like went up to it, and then everyone went in the paint, but she didn't shoot it. So the Cavs, though, get a steal off Laney Klein. Miller attacking. Shot is up, no good. Gets her own rebound. Gets it up. So Miller now has 7 points, and the Cavs almost cause another steal. So they're down 21 points, but have a little life.
Coach DJ Baylor always said at the half, treat every half like it's a new game.
Yep.
So he's right in this sense. The Bobcats are playing just with the same intensity as they are coming out of here. You can see a lot of teams when they're at the end of the half struggle because they're like, oh, we're tired, ready to go home. No, I don't see any signs of struggle in the Bobcats here. They're playing almost the exact same game they played earlier.
Laney Klein attacking the basket. Tunstall and Miller lose control over themselves and fall over each other. Hope they're okay. They look to be okay, but Laney Klein gets her. She had 6 points in the first half, now has 6 points in this second half already. Miller now answering on their end. So the Cavs have already scored more points in this period than they did in the whole third period. But the Bobcats break the press. Laney Klein gets another bucket. So the Cavaliers come out of half, box and one to stop Haley Witt. But what they don't account for is the Bobcats' leading scorer, Laney Klein, 13 points a game. Now has 14 points tonight, and we still got a whole second half to go. We'll be right back with Bobcat Sports Live. It's Michael Davis, Liam Cherry, after a quick commercial break from 11 West.
Hello, Bobcat fans. This is
Dynamic
Timothy Worrells,
products
one
backed
of the
by
voices of the
uncompromising
Bobcat
service
Sports
since
Live Network.
1978.
And I want
That's
to say
11
thanks
West in
to all of our
Radford with more
sponsors
years
who
of
make this
experience than
happen.
anyone in the
Bones
New River
Funeral Home
Valley.
and
11 West
Crematory,
specializes
Davis
in screen
Davis
printing,
Davis
embroidery,
Attorney,
sew on, and
Brad's
flat printing.
Barbershop,
But our graphic arts
11
department
West,
creates something
Dr.
really
Bart
special
Eastwood
for
of
you.
Sideline
And there's specialty
Orthopedics,
products to
Dr.
choose
Caleb
from, too.
Mullins
Phone
from Fairlawn
639-9319 for the most
Sweet and
professional way
savory
to display
donuts
your
and
company,
bagels.
club, or team.
Ameriprise
It's 11 West
Financial,
on New River Road
Radford
in
Drug
Radford,
on
and
West
11
Main,
West,
and
which is
Brick
all
House
area
Pizza.
teams the best.
Because of these Bobcat supporters, we are able to bring you all the action when life doesn't allow you to be here in person. Thanks, everyone, and go Bobcats!
Hey, this is Eli Mullins with Mullins Funeral Home in Radford, located right across from Sonic on Main Street, where we've been doing business for almost 100 years. We're thankful for the continued support of the
And we're back. Cavaliers bringing the ball down the floor off their timeout. 5 minutes to go in the third period. Bobcats leading 42-19. Bobcats averaging 49 points a game, have 42 here with 5 minutes to go in the third. Cavaliers attack the basket, put a shot up by Tunstall, and a foul is called on Lady Klein. That's her first personal, but this is what the Cavs do well, and this is what they need to do. They need to get to the free throw line, and they're doing it here in the second half. Shot is up and good by Tunstall. Tunstall's second shot is up and good, and Brooke Phillips will come in for Hollybrook Klein. Bobcats inbound the basketball, get it to Jada Dean. Little boxing full court press, but the Bobcats break it, but Jada Dean wanting a foul call. Can't get it. And the Bobcats on defense, Miller tried to answer with a three, literally went all the way in and rolled back out here. Bobcats answering, Jada Dean attacking the basket as she's fouled.
Foul's on number 10, Cora Ligon, I believe. Jada Dean, inbound foul, maybe?
Yeah, they're going to call, it'll be on the floor here as the Bobcats will finally inbound here. Jada Dean gets it to Witt. Witt from deep three, no good. Good, strong rebound by Phillips. Goes underneath the basket. Can't get the shot to go. It gets tipped out to her. She hustles it down. Witt down low to Laney Klein. Laney Klein attacking. Bobcats wanted a foul, and she probably should have got one. But the Cavs lose the ball in transition. And here come the Bobcats. Haley Witt with the basketball. Gives it down low to Laney Klein, and she's finally fouled. The Bobcats are relying on Laney Klein here.
Here's the thing. That foul was on Tunstall. Tunstall, regardless of how many fouls she may have, she has to be careful because she's one of their best players in the paint. So Tunstall's got to be careful. Even though it's like her second or third personal, she's still got to be careful.
Yeah, she does, and that's what the Bobcats want to do. They want to get Tunstall or Miller in foul trouble, as I do believe that was the second foul called. Not a whole lot of fouls called in this game. I think there was 10 total in the first half and only 4 here so far in this one as Lexi Newcomb checks in here for Haley Witt, who gets a much-needed break here. Good strong minutes by Witt as Laney Klein misses the free throw, but strong rebound here by Phillips, and the Bobcats get another look at it. Bobcats out to Witt. Witt cross-court pass to Laney Klein, sails out of bounds, and that will be a turnover by the Bobcats.
Look at inbounding for the Cavaliers to Miller. Brooke Phillips waiting at the half-court line to meet Miller.
What do you think about that strategy? Coach Worrells, me and him talked about it last night for the Bobcats. They said they were going to meet Miller at the half-court line. How do you think it's been working out for him, Liam?
Perfectly fine. Like, he's doing exactly what he's saying. You know, there's so many. Laney Klein takes 2. Here's the thing.
Yeah, she has 16 points tonight.
There's a lot of coaching staffs that will say they're going to do things for a game, but don't go through with it. Coach Worrells, I've noticed in the time that I've watched him coach and such like that, he says he's going to do something. He gets it done every time, and it's always to the benefit. There are some coaches that do things that don't benefit the team as a whole, but individually to make him look better. No. Coach Rose is a very, very humble man just by simply having conversations with him, and he's doing exactly what this organization wants to see.
Yeah, Coach Worrell's long time, first time, long time here as a big supporter of Bobcat Sports Live, founder of Bobcat Sports Live, but went to Radford High School, played under Coach Cormany. We talked about the Coach Cormany tree is very, very lengthy. A lot of good young men in Radford High School and the Radford community have coached and played under Coach Cormany. He went and played college basketball, come back, pastor in the community, and now in his, I believe, second year as the head coach here for the Lady Cats program, and has done a fine job in his second year, has the opportunity to send his Lady Cats to the state game, which they haven't done since 2011. A lot of time left in this contest as Tunstall will attack the basket, and she will get to the free throw line, but she did miss the shot. So she'll go to the line for two, as that's on Hannah Witt. As Tunstall to the line misses. She made her first two. She's only been to the line twice tonight. Normally gets about 8 to 10 free throws a game.
Checking in for the Bobcats, Holly Brookline, number 42, and number 34, Hannah Witt.
Tunstall shot is up and good. So she goes 0 for 1 right there as the Cavs take a timeout. They're down 22 to 44 behind the Lady Cats. We'll take a quick commercial break as well. And this time here from Ameriprise Financial.
When it comes to financial planning, one size fits all isn't a fit at all.
Talk with Ameriprise Financial Advisors Mark Tapp and Keith Weltons about the exclusive Confident Retirement Approach.
It's a personalized, flexible, step-by-step approach towards financial balance, so you can feel confident about the future as well as your wants and needs of today.
The Confident Retirement Approach and a one-on-one relationship with an advisor like Mark or Keith will help you live life and save for tomorrow in a way that's right for you.
It's what financial balance is all about. So call Keith
or Mark
today at 540.
And we're back after the timeout by the Cavs. They cause a turnover off a block by number 32, Abigail Totten, and Miller attacks the paint. I think that's what the Cavs wanted to talk about. They wanted to talk about aggressiveness, saying this is it. If you don't step up now, this ball game's over. They're down by 20. They have a lot of life left. Still a whole quarter and 2 minutes to go. So 10 total minutes of game time still left in this ball game. If you can score 2 points in 30 seconds here, back-to-back steals by the Cavs. Miller attacking the paint, blocked by Laney Klein, but a foul will be called here. Said she got her with the body.
It seems like the Cavaliers cheerleaders got to be careful because during the break, Michael, I think they got talked to by a referee.
Yeah, it's hard to tell what's going on down in the base camp area. You know, we're up in the crow's nest up here. We look like snipers in a building in Iraq right now as Miller misses the free throw. So the Cavs doing what they want to do, getting to the free throw line, just can't get these to go. Gracie Connor checking in for Hollybrook Klein. So the Bobcats going back to an old faithful 3 guards, 2 posts here as Gracie Connor checks back in the game. Miller shot is up and good. So Miller now had 5 points all in the first half, now has 7 points here in the second half. Total of 13 points on the game, and Miller trying to win this one herself as she's going coast to coast, getting a block. So the Cavs trying to get their 3rd turnover in a row here against the Bobcats. As the Bobcats inbounding the ball, Jada Dean gets it to Laney Klein. Laney Klein gets it blocked by Tunstall. Jada Dean gets the rebound, and she'll be fouled. Liam, I'll give the Cavs a lot of credit here. It looked like they were about to roll over, and they are saying, look, we got a couple seniors on this team. I believe Miller and Tunstall are seniors on this ball club, and they're saying we're not going out. We got to fight. As Jededian misses the free throw, and they're doing that. So I'll give them a lot of credit. They're down 19 now. We're down 24.
Yep.
And now they're down 19. So if they can strike and claw, if they can get within 12 or 13 by the end of this period, Liam, you got a lot of momentum as a jump ball is called. It will be Cavs basketball. So 3 turnovers in a row with no scores by the Bobcats. As Brooke Phillips checks back in the game.
On the way over here, Michael, you mentioned that after watching film, you could see Miller's frustration just present in the game, and it's getting worse and worse. No offense to the Cavs or anything, but the offense seems to be getting more flustered with, plays not being in the right place and such like that.
Yeah.
They need to be careful.
Yeah, the Bobcats committed a turnover there, so that's the 4th turnover on 4 possessions in a row here for the Bobcats. But on the other end, the Cavs are missing free throws. It's going back and forth. You're right. She is flustered, but she's trying to keep her team involved in the game as Tunstall attacks the paint. Shot is no good. Big, strong rebound by Lainey Klein. And this is the difference. I don't believe Tunstall has played a girl as – not even as big, because Tunstall's not, a huge basketball player, but no one as aggressive as her, no one as tall as her, no one as physical as her, and that's what Lainey Klein gives the Bobcats as Tunstall goes to the bench. I believe she must have 3 fouls, 4 fouls. They're not putting it up, and I missed the foul count on that. So we'll keep an eye on that, but she does go to the bench, so she at least has 3 fouls, and she was frustrated when they called that one. So Lainey Klein dominating here in the second half. 16 total points. Haley Witt leading the Bobcats at half with 14 points. Lainey Klein has took over here in this second half. But it's been a team effort here in the second half. The Bobcats have been getting steals, and they've been attacking the paint.
Yeah, no, I think this may be one of the best games that I've seen the Bobcats play all year.
Yeah, I actually agree with you, Liam. This is the best game so far that they've played this year. They've scored more points in games, but this is the best overall game so far. A lot of time left, but Liam, it's looking pretty good for the Bobcats.
A lot of people say the phrase "it's ring season" is just a phrase.
Ooh, that's a little early.
But here's the thing. The phrase "it's ring season" means so much because it creates so much morale for people. And I feel like they're taking that phrase to heart, they're harnessing it, and they're making it reflect on how they play the game.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And you know what? You're right. I do think that it's a little early to be talking about that. But that being said, if the Bobcats do hold on, a lot of time left as Lainey Klein knocks down the free throw. You have to set that expectation to make it obtainable. If you don't believe in yourself that you can consider winning a championship or fighting for a championship, you're not going to. So if the Bobcats hold on and win tonight as Lainey Klein knocks down the second free throw, she has 18 points in the contest. Bobcats leading 46-25 as the Cavs turn it over here off a miss from Brooks. But if you don't set that expectation, you'll never win. So if they win tonight, they will be in the state playoff game no matter what, as it's not win or die in the next round. It just depends on seeding here. So Bobcats with 50 seconds to go, attacking the basket. Witt, shot fake, drives, and gets crashed to the floor, and here come the Cavs. Miller dribbles to her left, gives it over to Brooks. Brooks made a three-pointer early in the contest. Number 32, mid-range jumper is good. Abigail Totten, that's her first field goal of the contest, and the Cavs now 19 points down. Bobcats were up 24 points. Bobcats almost cause a turnover, but Witt saves it. Witt to Lainey Klein. Gracie Connor from three. Bang! Gracie Connor from three.
And you can see here where the Cavaliers are picking up the slack from where they had to put Tunstall on the bench.
Yep, you're absolutely right. And this is as the Cavs do not get a shot at the buzzer. We're going to stay right here and just talk this out for a second, Liam. The Cavs haven't had to face a team all year, in my opinion. You know, most high school teams, just like Chatham, you come in and say, okay, if I can stop Klein, if I can stop Witt, we're going to win this basketball game. The Bobcats have shown you can stop one. You may be able to stop two, but it is a win by committee here. There are 7 girls who have scored for the Bobcats tonight. There have been 8 players who have checked in. 7 girls have scored. Chatham has 2 girls, and this is exactly who we thought, Miller and Tunstall, doing all the scoring, and it's just not enough so far in this game. Bobcats leading 49-27.
And, you know, you and I both had the expectation on the way over here that this is going to be an absolute great game. And it has been so far.
Yeah.
But, honestly, I think Kevin Connor built this big organization that, you know, people respected and such like that.
Yep.
Coach Worrells didn't take that organization and reform it. He built on it and built this big organization that is absolutely, like, we have players all over that are multi-dominant. People are like, oh, let me just stop this one player.
Sure.
No, you have to stop these other 6 players to stop this game.
Yeah, it's tough to fight this Bobcats team night in and night out as they will start the 4th period with the basketball. As Jada Dean will attack the paint, gives it out to Lainey Klein at the 3. She attacks the basket, fouled by Tunstall, and she'll go to the line. I believe that's Tunstall's 4th foul of the contest. That's her 5th. That is Tunstall's 5th foul. I thought it was her 4th, as that is her 5th foul of the contest. The senior Tunstall, 22 points a game, only has 7 points tonight as she fouls out of this contest, and Abigail Totten will come in for her.
This is exactly what they were not wanting. You know, they have one of their best players that has fouled out of this game, Lainey Klein. Hits the first, rolls out and back in. Lainey Klein having a great second half here. She's going to take her second with Jada Dean at the back with Miller not too far off from her. Dean. Klein hits the second. Dean and Witt at the back with Miller dribbling down the court. Phillips absolutely meeting her. It's just like Coach told Michael last night, and they're doing exactly that. Witt on the rebound, dribbling down the court with Dean right across from her. Dean asking over to Klein. Klein to Connor. Connor at the top of the key. Dribbling down over to Phillips. Phillips dribbling around to Klein. Goes to the bottom. Hits it. This is the Lainey Klein that we were asking for at the beginning here.
Yeah. Klein with 23 points tonight. Had 6 points in the first half. Now has 23 on the game. This is exactly what Lainey Klein gives you. She got the ball, big time three-pointer from Brooks. She comes up hobbling, I believe, as she knocks it down so that she has 7 points in the contest tonight. But Lainey Klein gets the ball at about the 12-minute mark there on the right side of the floor. Takes the pump fake, dribbles in, backs down her man, turns around, and gets the shot to go. This is a different Lainey Klein that we've seen in the last few weeks of the season. Brooke Phillips, pump fake, dribbles in, one big step in, and gets the bucket to go. So she has now 5 points. But Lainey Klein struggled there in the midpoint way of the season. She came in hot at the first section of this little block of this season. And over the last 3 weeks, she's really put on a show. She had her best game the other night with 22 points. She now has 24 points tonight. Good basketball game for Lainey Klein.
Yes, guys. And like we said, fouls called on Gracie Connor. I believe it's her second personal. And the 16 foul. 16 foul. Totten hits the first. Number 14, Ava Norris checking in for the Cavaliers. Miller at the bottom. It'd be interesting to see what she can do in the paint. Misses the second.
Yeah, looks like they're going to call a lane violation on Gracie Connor. That's just a tough break for the Bobcats. There was no need. The shot was missed, but so she got another chance at it here as Lexi Newcomb checks back in, as well as Hannah Witt for the Bobcats. Miller tries to bring down the board, but it goes out of play, and it will be Bobcat basketball. So 5:57 to go in the contest. Bobcats leading 55-31. Again, Cavaliers averaging 63.7 points per game, I believe, Liam. Held to just 31 here with 5 minutes to go. Jada Dean gives it up to Witt at the top of the key, over to Phillips. Phillips to Hannah Witt, or gives it up to Lexi Newcomb. Gets her first shot. So every player now who has checked in for the Bobcats tonight has scored. Bobcats, 8 players, 8 scorers tonight.
Yeah, there's nothing, I guarantee, like you said earlier, the Cavaliers were given these 2 players, hit these 2 players, we're going to win this game. Well, it's the complete opposite of that. As you just said, all players that have checked into this game have scored. And I feel like the Cavaliers are getting overwhelmed because, this person can score. This person can score. This person can score. Where are we going to go?
Totten gets another score, so that's 5 points for her. Jada Dean brings the ball all the way down the floor. She gives it up to Lexi Newcomb. Lexi Newcomb to Witt. Witt from 3, no good. And it's rebounded, poked away. Lexi Newcomb diving on the floor, gets it as Coach Whirls will call a full timeout. So he's going to take a full timeout. We will take one as well in here from Brad's Barbershop. This is Michael Davis alongside Liam Cherry with Bobcat Sports Live.
Step foot inside Brad's Barber in Radford and you'll be transported back to a time when men were men and getting a straight razor shave and a haircut was something that mattered. With no appointment needed, Brad's welcomes you with walk-ins only. Brad's Barber would like to introduce their new stylist, Elysia Blankenship, to the team. Reach out to Brad's at 838-2109. That's 540-838-2109. Brad's Barber is a proud supporter of Radford High School athletics. Go Bobcats!
And we're back. Michael Davis alongside Liam Cherry tonight. 4:35 to go in the contest. If you're just now tuning in, you've missed a pretty good one if you're a Bobcat fan. 57-33 Bobcats over the Cavaliers from Chatham. Witt on the floor, both Witt sisters, Hannah and Haley, Jada Dean, Brooke Phillips, and Lexi Newcomb, as a travel is called on Jada Dean. Checking in is Gracie Connor and Hollybrook Klein. Hollybrook Klein has come in and played good minutes here in the first and second period. Picked up a foul early in the third and checked out, coming back in here. I would assume to wrap up the fourth as they call a little touch foul. So we'll be 1-1 here as the Cavs will go to the line. No offense here, Liam, to the Cavs, but this game's all but over. But, one thing I will say, since we got to be here tonight, it's been an amazing experience. Thank you to the Cherries for allowing us to be here tonight.
Thanks, Dad. Thanks, Dad.
Yeah, man. We really appreciate that. We've talked about how in the past how expensive it is to do this, and we love calling high school sports for you all at home. And so without donations and without sponsorships from businesses and the commercials we've run are really commercials that we've run in the past, and we didn't really have any real sponsors this year, so thank you for the Cherries for allowing us to be here. And Jada Dean knocks down the mid-range jumper, but I want to also thank the Booster Club as they covered the rest of the Regency tournament in whatever capacity that looks like for myself and Liam to be here tomorrow night as your boys will play Martinsville. That game's at 8 o'clock, so there'll be a game before that. So if you want to watch some high basketball action here in New River Valley, come out tomorrow. And then your boys will play Martinsville at 8 o'clock, so we'll be in the arena again tomorrow. But without the support from the community, we could not be here, so thank you guys so much. Witt rips down the miss by the Cavs. 59-35 is your score. Jada Dean brings the ball across the midcourt here. Gracie Connor from three. Knocks it down, averaging 3.5 a game as she knocks that one down. That's her third three-pointer of the night. She has 9 points on the contest. Bobcats get a steal here as the Cavs do, but number 24, Haymore, steals it from Dean, but she's standing on the out-of-bounds line. Good hustle there. Defense by Haymore.
I'll give the Cavs this. It's a little bit confusing to really distinguish what the line is, being as that they have all this tape on the floor.
You're right.
There's that.
Yeah, I actually agree with you in the Gracie Connor from three. Knocks it down. Bobcats rolling big. Gracie Connor with her 12th point of the contest. 2:46 to go in the contest. Miller being guarded by Hollybrook Klein, attacking the paint. Shot is up. As she lost it on the way up. Steal by Hollybrook Klein as the Bobcats come down the floor. Look to just take their time here, but Jada Dean's attacking the paint. Shot is up and good. Dean now with 8 points in the contest. 2:15 to go in the contest. Dean now with her 8th point. Screen set. They could have called Hollybrook Klein with running through a screen there, but Hollybrook Klein gets it, and I think they call a timeout. Coach Worrell's called a timeout just to get some subs in here. So checking in for the first time tonight, number 52 for the Bobcats, Marie Weltons, number 50, Maggie Weltons, and number 54, Claire Fender.
Now this would be cool if all three of them could score. That way we could say.
Absolutely. Everyone who's checked in so far has scored, so of course, me and you here at Bobcat Sports Live would love the Bobcats, Fender and Weltons to score. Oh, Marie Welton, excuse me. Actually, that was Claire Fender. From up here, I'll be honest with you, from up here, all three of them look about the same.
It's kind of hard, man.
I do know, I'm pretty sure the Weltons are twins.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But I'll give Claire Fender some credit from up here, and we're pretty far away. She looks like their cousin.
Yeah.
So I'll just say that. Bobcats drop back in a 2-3 zone as the Cavs looking to save some face here, down 32 points as the Bobcats get a steal. Number 32, Hannah Witt, the only player who didn't come out there, as both teams good diving on the floor. Jump ball is called. There must be a running clock, by the way. I forgot. Up 30.
My priest told me that both the Welton twins just received confirmation here recently, right?
Wow.
And
can you explain what confirmation is?
Basically, it's like the coming of age for Catholics.
Okay, Catholics. Okay.
So my priest is sitting there, and he's like, they're both twins.
Yeah.
He goes, I'm going to take a wild guess at both of the names. He points them out. Gets them both right.
Wow.
This man is acting like he won the lottery.
That's pretty impressive.
He's like, yeah, just absolutely losing it over it. It's funny.
Yeah, Bobcats rolling here, 67-35 as Lexi Newcomb attacks the bucket, gets the shot to go. And Lexi Newcomb now with 4 points in the contest. Bobcats going to come away with the victory big. It's all over but the salad dressing as the Bobcats dive on the floor, get the rebound. I would expect the Bobcats not to score here, and they try to turn over. Coach Worrell told them to stop, but they didn't listen. As the Cavs now will score as a rolling clock. That'll be it. Oh, no, it doesn't roll on fouls. But it would have been over. But the Bobcats, and we're going to actually blame Witt for that one, Hannah Witt. But no big deal as the Cavs will go to the line. The Bobcats will get the big-time victory as number 24 will go to the line. Delaney Haymore, she knocks it down. Bobcats will finish with 69 tonight. .36 scored by the Cavs. And that will be your contest. Bobcats win 69-35 over the Cavaliers from Chatham, averaging 64 points a game. Bobcats only averaging 47 points a game. And Chatham didn't even know you did handshake lines, as they must not have done it all year. And they don't really want to do it now. They just played each other all night, but don't really want to do handshake lines. But that's okay. And now they decide to do it. Handshake lines galore, as we will be right back. As somebody is giving me a call. I just want to make sure this isn't Coach Worrell's. We'll be right back with your final report here at Bobcat Sports Live.
Hello, Bobcat fans. This is Timothy Worrells, one of the voices of the Bobcat Sports Live Network. And I want to say thanks to all of our sponsors who make this happen. Mullins Funeral Home and Crematory, Davis Attorneys, Brad's Barbershop, 11 West, Dr. Bart Eastwood of Sideline Orthopedics, Dr. Kayla Mullins from Fairlawn Family Dentist, Sweet and Savory Donuts and Bagels, Ameriprise Financial, Radford Drug on West Main, and Brick House Pizza. Because of these Bobcat supporters, we are able to bring you all the action when life doesn't allow you to be here in person. Thanks, everyone, and go Bobcats!
Hey, this is Eli Mullins with Mullins Funeral Home in Radford, located right across from Sonic on Main Street, where we've been doing business for almost 100 years. We're thankful for the continued support of the people of Radford throughout all these years, and Bobcat Sports Live for allowing us to be there with the Bobcats when our schedules don't allow us to be there in person. Good luck and go Bobcats.
Step foot inside Brad's Barber in Radford and you'll be transported back to a time when men were men and getting a straight razor shave and a haircut was something that mattered. With no appointment needed, Brad's welcomes you with walk-ins only. Brad's Barber would like to introduce their new stylist, Elysia Blankenship, to the team. Reach out to Brad's at 838-2109. That's 540-838-2109. Brad's Barber is a proud supporter of Radford High School athletics. Go Bobcats!
For the past 86 years, Radford residents have had a pharmacy that they can rely on not just for medication needs, but even for items around the house, medical supplies, and friendly advice. Business of the Year award winners Radford Drug on West Main Street has been that cornerstone for your community. So whether it is a question about your medication, hardware you need around the house, or even a Mother's Day card, come see the folks at Radford Drug, who are proud supporters of Radford High Athletics. For more information, call 540-639-3996.
When it comes to financial planning, one size fits all isn't a fit at all.
Talk with Ameriprise Financial Advisors Mark Tapp and Keith Weltons about the exclusive Confident Retirement Approach.
It's a personalized, flexible, step-by-step approach towards financial balance, so you can feel confident about the future, as well as your wants and needs of today.
The Confident Retirement Approach and a one-on-one relationship with an advisor.
And you're back. If you're just tuning in, you missed a fantastic contest. Bobcats dominate the Cavs. Final score, 69 to 36. Bobcats steamroll the Cavaliers from Chatham tonight. And Liam is going to talk about how we got there.
I'm going to start with your Chatham Cavaliers. Trinity Brooks scored 7 tonight. Nyesha Miller, their top scorer. And as I mentioned earlier, at the beginning of the game, the player in which scores 42.7% of those points scored 15 tonight. Delaney Haymore took a foul shot at the end of the game and scored 1. Tunstall, who ended up fouling out of this game, scored 9. Abigail Totten, who took a couple of foul shots and some layups, scored 5. Fitzgerald, who played in for Tunstall, scored 2. Now over to your Lady Bobcats. Brooke Phillips with 5. Jada Dean with 8. Gracie Connor with 12. Knocking back and forth threes, back and forth. Absolute great job by her. Lexi Newcomb with 4. Hannah Witt with 2. Haley Witt with 14. Lainey Klein with 24. Now that's, I'm not exactly sure. I kind of lost track of hers at a certain point. Hollybrook Klein with 2, but she did a great job on the defensive end, not to mention. But this was an absolute masterpiece of a game. You know, I came in this thinking that that it was going to be, you know, closer than it was. But I mean, hey, it's a win's a win.
Man, this is exactly what you asked for from these Lady Cats tonight. This is kind of how I was hoping the game would go. And it just shows you that stats are deceiving, and sometimes in high school basketball, strength of schedule matters. I know it matters in college basketball. And so it's a good contest by both teams. A lot of credit to Chatham. They came in here and played their heart out. They just couldn't get it done when it mattered. Miller and Tunstall did all they could. If they had a few more quality pieces like the Bobcats, I think they could have done pretty good this year, and they did have a respectable season. But the Bobcats came in here and rolled tonight. 69-36 your final score. Bobcats, Lady Cats will play, I believe, at 6 o'clock. I'll double-check that, so don't hold me to this, but I believe it's 6 o'clock on Friday. We don't know their opponent yet, but the Bobcats will play 6 o'clock. The boys team play tomorrow night at 8 o'clock against Martinsville. So we will be here in attendance. It'll actually be in the main gym. This is in the secondary gym. It'll be in the main gym tomorrow night. We will post all about it. But this has been a fantastic contest, and I'll just say this because it's not going to happen. We had scheduled a post-game interview with a young lady here on the Bobcat Sports Live Network. It was supposed to be with whoever our leading scorer is, and it ended up being Lainey Klein, and we just assumed that was going to happen. But we are about 10,000 yards away from the court, so that's not going to happen. So we do apologize for that. We're going to try to get you some player interviews going into Friday and going into possibly tomorrow night, especially for Friday. Again, before we get out of here, Liam, any final thoughts?
Like I said, this is an amazing game.
Yep.
But to be able to say that I've done this in my high school career is humbling. But not to mention, what an amazing job by the girls tonight. Have a good ride home, everybody. Enjoy your cookout. And I'm going to steal your phrase. God bless.
And